2T. 2U. Yes.
Now, I handed you that as State's Exhibit number 13, and as you went through them, you made some references to Exhibit 2. Those are all previously admitted exhibits, but I'm going to ask you if you recognize those photographs in State's Exhibit number 13 as photographs that show the walk from the main street up 346th Avenue Northeast up to the main house.
Yes.
And are those fair and accurate photographs as to how you recall how that looked on December 26,
yes.
2007? And so would offer State's Exhibit number 13 at this time?
Any quarrel with 13, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 13 is admitted.
And we're going to go through this somewhat quickly, but I want to give the jury a photographic look at where you walked and where you went. So we're looking at the first slide in Exhibit 13, which was previously admitted. And just briefly, you recognize that scene, Ms. Keeley?
Yes.
What do you recognize that to be?
Of the mailboxes at the bottom of the driveway.
And is that a place or that you previously had delivered mail before December 26,
Yes.
2007?
Yes.
The road that we see on the right side of the screen, where does that lead?
Up to Judy's house, Judy and Wayne's house.
And is that the road that you went up on December 26, 2007 when you were trying to locate Judy?
Yes, I was still in my car at this point.
If we could see the next slide. Exhibit 13 is previously State's Exhibit 2C. If I could just ask you, is that still the same road leading up to that gate?
Yes, it is.
Other than the presence of the cars there, which I assume probably weren't there when you were there early that morning,
That's correct.
everything else is pretty much the same?
Yes.
Next slide is from Exhibit 13, previously State's Exhibit 2F. Is that the gate you were talking about?
Yes, it is.
Now, when you saw it, was that gate open or closed?
It was closed,
And where did you park or leave your car?
right in front of the gate.
So is there a way to walk around the post there, or you walk
Yes.
through blackberry bushes, or what?
No, you just have to sort of step over stuff.
And we can see the next slide. From State's Exhibit 13, this was State's Exhibit 2G. And does that look familiar to you?
Yes.
Is that the lock and the chain that was around the gate when you were there on the morning of December 26th?
I can't say that for sure, but it was locked and chained and locked.
Next slide. From State's Exhibit 2H, recognize those signs sort of identifying the residence there, the residences there, and the address.
That's correct.
Next slide. And this is previously from State's Exhibit 2L. Recognize that as the lead up of the road heading up to the main house up top.
Yes, and at this point I'm on foot.
And next slide. From previously State's Exhibit 2M, and you see there Judy's house in the distance.
Yes.
Other than this is undoubtedly taken later that same day, is this pretty much how it looked in terms of it being cloudy and
Yes.
all that? Next slide. This is from State's Exhibit 2Q. Recognize that to be the front of Judy's home.
Yes.
The next slide, please. A close-up, previously State's Exhibit 2R, a close-up of the front of Judy's home.
Yes.
And the entranceway is on the left side of the porch there?
Yes, it is.
The next slide. Again, a close-up from a different angle of the front porch of Judy's home.
Right.
That was State's Exhibit 2S. The next slide. Where do you recognize that to be?
Yes, that's the porch where I was looking for the dog.
And is that the little gate that you talked about that's
Yes.
open and closed? Would the dog ordinarily have been on the inside of that enclosed area or running around the property? Or
It could have been either, depending on what time of day it was and the circumstances. So, but I'd expected the dog to be out in the driveway, and it wasn't. And then I thought, well, it'll be on the porch, which it wasn't.
regardless of whether it was on the porch or out in the driveway or running around, did you expect it to be barking?
No, it didn't bark. It would sneak up on you and bite you on the heels.
Okay. That sort of like comes with being a postal carrier.
Right.
Okay. The next slide. And this is the front door to Wayne and Judy's home.
Yes.
And I don't know if we can tell from this slide whether there's a screen door there, but if there was, you recall that it was open?
Yes.
And is that the door that when you knocked and didn't receive a response, you turned the doorknob and opened the door and looked inside?
Yes.
Let me hand you what's been marked for identification as State's Exhibit number 14. And that has not previously been admitted as an exhibit. So if you could just take a look at those without displaying those to the jury just yet. And if you could tell us if you recognize the images that are on State's Exhibit number 14.
Yes. On A, B is the floor plan, yes.
Sorry, what was it?
I said yes on A, and B is the floor plan, yes. And C is just showing sort of the living room.
Slide D look like the hallway.
Yes, it's the hallway. And this is again showing the hallway farther down. And this is showing the bed that I was hiding beside. And the last one is where I was hiding.
These slides that are shown in State's Exhibit 14 that's been marked for identification, are they fair and accurate photographs of the way the inside of Judy and Wayne's house looked on December 26, 2007?
Yes, they are.
If the state would offer at this time what's been marked for identification as State's Exhibit 14.
Any objection?
Subject to previous objections.
Certainly. They'll be admitted at this point, though. Thank you.
Thank you. And before we show the first slide, Ms. Teely, you mentioned that when you pushed open the door, you saw the body of a man inside, and you went inside,
Yes,
and then eventually you saw the body of a woman and a young child.
yes,
The reason I'm asking that is that those the images we're going to see in this first slide.
yes.
We can see the first slide for Exhibit 14. Can I ask you very briefly, was it this light or much darker when you first looked into that room?
It was much darker.
And when you were inside the room and you first saw this scene, did you walk over or in any way approach the young woman who was up against the couch in the distance?
No,
Or how about the child next to her?
no.
And if we go to the next slide. This shows a floor plan of the 1806 residence. I'm going to ask you if you can just point out to the jury where the front door is that you walked through. I might even have a... I don't know if there's a laser on this thing, and I think if you push this button right up here on the top, you can point it out.
There's the front door.
And as you walked through the front door and looked to where you saw the bodies of the body of the man, was that
They were here.
just for the record, because the transcript won't reflect this, if you're pointing to the room that's in the upper left portion of the
Yes.
diagram. And then could you just show us briefly where the body of the young woman was?
The man was about here, and she and the young boy were here.
Could you tell the jury then maybe trace with that laser or where it is you walked through the house trying to find the phone?
At this point, after stepping over his body and seeing he'd been shot, I came down through here. I guess that this is open, I don't know. I guess it would be here is where I came through. And then walked through the kitchen looking for a phone, and then out this door. And then I started, all of these doors were shut. And this one was open. So I walked past all the shut doors and into the open door, and I could see a phone here.
And was that,
Actually, the phone was here.
and then is that bed that we see in the lower right portion of this drawing, is that was it between that bed and the wall?
Yes, I was hiding in here. It seems to me there was a little nightstand here that the phone was on.
We can see the next slide, it says exhibit 14. This is 14C. It's a little dark, but I'll ask you if that looks like the view from the family room looking sort of in the general direction down that hallway.
Yes, I did not walk through this area. I had walked over and through the kitchen, so I didn't really view this area in here.
And the kitchen would be just to the right of this photograph.
Yes.
We can see the next slide. This is 14D. Does that look like the beginning of the hallway there to you?
Yes, I had come out of the kitchen here and gone down this hall.
The next slide, which is 14E. Tell us what we're looking at there.
This is looking down the hall, and this is the bedroom that I was in.
And the doors on either side of the hallway were closed when you walked down?
Yes, all the doors were closed.
Was it, as you walked down this hallway, was it dark? Was it lighted? You know?
It seems to me it was lighter than the living room, but it wasn't well lit, no.
And then the next slide, which is 14F. If you tell the jury.
So you can see there's a little nightstand there.
And is that the bed in that bedroom right there?
Yes, that's where I was in between the wall and the bed.
And then the next slide, which is I think the last one, 14G.
Yes, and that's the phone I was on during the time, the 911 call.
And is that the nightstand that you recall being?
Yes.
In the corner? Thank you. It was from that location then, between the wall and the bed, that you placed the call to 911?
Yes, and that's where I stayed until I left the building.
Is that because it was a landline and you couldn't move about the house?
Right.
But at this time, with the court's permission, I'll play the 911 call. I do have extra copies of transcripts for the jurors to follow along. That helps them.
Feel free to distribute those now, counsel, if you like. And ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a heads up, these are being distributed to you to help you listen to the 911 tape itself. It's not a substitute for the recording itself. I would urge you to not read ahead, but just to use it for its intended purposes, which is to read along with what you're hearing, okay? And those are not admitted into evidence for you to use during deliberations. The 911 call itself is the exhibit that you will be relying on during your deliberations.
Everybody have a copy?
Okay, thank you.
There's been a murder. Where? 1806, 344. There's two people that I can see right now. I just came up, she works with me.
And talking about?
Yes.
Okay. What's your last name?
My name is Thiele, Thiele. I work for the Carnation Post Office.
Okay, what's your first name?
Linda.
What do you see?
Oh God, wait, there's in the other room. There's a baby and a man and a woman. And she's my best friend.
You just arrived there?
Yes, I had to walk in the block from the driveway. Oh shit. I don't know if there's a phone in the other room. I just bring my cell phone with me. I'm in the bedroom right now.
How were they?
They're laying on the floor.
Okay, do you see any kind of weapons or anything?
I know. I just think it's because that's me
No.
that's someone else.
No, I'm getting that, does it appear that they're cold to touch?
No, it just appears that it looks like it was family that shot him.
How do you know that information?
Because they're like shoppers that were sitting around. They're in the living room. The man's laying on the floor. The baby, he's only like 2 or 3 years old.
A male and a female?
And a baby. His name is Wayne and her name is Judy.
Okay, can you just see, are they cold to touch?
So cut. Hey, look,
Huh? Kidding. I think they're cold to touch. Ma'am? Hello? 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 Ma'am? Hello?
Yes, really cool. They've been dead for a long time.
Okay, don't touch anything. Anything else,
Okay, I
okay?
touched the man in the woman.
Okay, just stay on the line with me. Do you see the weapon laying on the
No,
ground?
ma'am, I'm in another room altogether.
Okay, did you see a weapon?
No, I did not hear. But he looks like he was shot front on in the face. To me, I just, maybe no.
Your best friend. And this is your best friend?
What do you know, looking at the person that's the woman that's dead out there, I'm not sure it's Judy. There's no light in that room.
Okay. Okay. The male you recognize?
Yeah, the male definitely Wayne.
Wayne, what do you know?
Anderson.
Okay. And the female you don't know?
Well,
Is she laying down on
she
face
started sitting, like I said, they looked like they were shot right where they were at. She started sitting up, hunched, over to the side.
And here's the child.
It's going to be her grandson. And that's what I'm wondering, if it's the child's mother that's there. But I can go look again. She's got glasses on her, and Judy wears glasses part of the time.
Okay.
And the face is sort of turned to the side.
Right. Yeah, okay. And you're, so what made you, were you invited over to?
No, she's supposed to be at work. She's my best friend and we work together.
Oh.
The Carnation post office.
Okay, she
And they
didn't
kept
show up?
sweating and sweating that, and I told them, I said, guys, I'm making myself a nervous wreck. I've got to go and find out what's
Or
going
she did not show up for work?
Right.
Okay.
And unless I can find a key, the gate is locked, which makes me wonder if her daughter did it. Which is scary. Because then I might be up here with the murderer.
Yeah, you for sure aren't aware of any death laying around the house or...
No, I didn't see one.
Okay.
I know the one daughter's been slightly unstable.
Yeah. Was there forced entry into the home?
No, the door wasn't locked. Whoever left and didn't lock the door. And that's the other thing that kind of scares me is the front gate is locked.
Okay.
And it's like a block up here, all uphill.
The front gate is locked?
Yeah.
Did you have the key?
No, I can't, it didn't get around it.
Oh, okay.
I would have climbed over it in the first place. And there should be a dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There should be a big dog. You know, I would really like to go.
No, we need for you to stay there.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay, I need for you to just stay on the line with me.
Because, see, I can't see the front of the house or anything. I can't see if somebody's coming.
That's okay, I'll let you know when,
You're gonna let me know. No, I'm more worried about somebody coming and shooting me.
well, it's been a while, right?
Hold on, let me get on this.
Linda? Linda? Linda?
Someone out locked doors, so at least I can hear someone trying to get in.
Okay, I need for you not to leave the phone. I need for you to stay on the phone with me until I advise you it's okay to leave to another room. You don't want to interrupt any fingerprints on anything, ma'am. So that's why I'm asking for you to stay inside and stay where you are.
The dog's barking.
Okay, but I need still for you to stay where you are.
You're worried about that. I'm worried about getting my ass killed.
Ma'am, I have you on the line. I have help, okay? Started that way.
Well, yeah.
You didn't feel like it happened just now, right?
Huh?
They're close to the top. It's been a while. Okay. Is there anybody else that lives there?
No. In fact, the baby does.
What do you hear?
I heard something up there.
Okay, stay on the line. Okay, fire is staging right now. What are you hearing, ma'am? Do you feel something?
No, I don't feel comfortable. I heard the dog barking. I think I heard someone on the floor.
I don't want to jeopardize you. And do you think somebody else is on the property?
I'm not sure. I can't see the goddamn property.
Okay, so you went around the gate when the front gate was closed. How did you go around it? Can a crew get in through it?
You're on foot.
Huh?
Let's see.
Okay, you hearing noises? What are you hearing?
I heard that dog barking.
What? Okay.
Get some goddamn conflict. Trust me, that's it.
I understand that, okay? Okay, we're getting you help, okay? If you don't feel comfortable about it,
Can I go down and wait my car at the gate?
there's a main gate at the beginning of the property that is locked. You can get around it on foot, right?
And my car is blocking it right now.
Your car's blocking it right now?
Yeah.
What type of car is it?
It's a Mercury Mountaineer.
It's a Mercury what?
Mountaineer.
Mountaineer? What color?
Dark blue.
Okay, how can you get around the gate?
You just walk around it's really easy to get around.
Okay,
Not a vehicle, but a person.
okay, left or the right-hand side of the gate?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to be tied up here for a long time. I got to get rid of the post office. They got so tickets. No one will run my route.
I understand that. This is very important. They'll
You
understand.
trust me. You think I don't know? I'm sorry. I'm shocked. Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's a white Mountaineer?
No, it's almost a black blue. Tell the police they might check the first house on the left also. It's a mobile.
You mean it goes around to the right-hand side of the fence?
Yeah.
Why do you need to check the other house?
That's what the sister or the daughter is.
Oh, okay. Which is your friend?
No, my friend lives in the house.
The daughter, the mom of the baby?
No,
The mom of the baby lives next
no,
door?
there's two daughters. The one daughter lives out by Monroe.
And they live right next door?
Yeah, they live in, there's two houses. There's the mobile and the prefab. The mobile's the first on the left. I'm the one at the top of the driveway. The other one's 1905, I'm 1806.
Yeah, it's another house on the property that has a different address, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the address of the other one?
1905. 344.
Okay. Okay, does she live there with anybody?
Well, there's two other cars there, so I don't know. I know the name's Michele Anderson. I don't know that much about her.
You don't know much more about them?
No.
So Michele Anderson lives there, but you don't know if she has any other family members or married or anything that way?
I know she's not married.
Okay, the fire department is staging right now. They're waiting for,
Where are the police? I can't even...
they're going code there, ma'am.
You're not service.
I understand. If you don't feel, how old are you?
61, and I'd like to make it to 62 in 4 months. This is your worst, this is your worst nightmare.
I understand. You're doing a great job, okay? You did the right thing in giving us a call immediately. And thank you for staying on the phone. You're doing a great job. When was the last time you saw her?
Thursday, actually. At work.
Thursday at work?
Because I didn't work Friday and she didn't work Saturday.
Okay, so when was she supposed to be back at work?
This morning,
Okay, so today was the first day she was supposed to be back at work and she wasn't there. Okay. Do you still hear any noises on the property?
No, I just hear the
Okay. I don't want to put you in an unsafe circumstance, but staying on the line with me at least gives me, information I can tell the officers when they arrive, okay?
Right.
Where are you right now?
In the back bedroom.
In the back
And
bedroom?
I'm between the bed and the wall.
Okay. Okay. And
I'm a total coward.
the,
I don't even watch good shows.
that's okay, you're doing a great job. Are they in the front room?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you didn't touch anything, right?
I touched the front door.
Okay.
The house creaks. That's why I keep touching. And then I went, I didn't touch the bodies even when I first came because I knew immediately. I walked over and looked at them. And you could see that he'd been shot in the face. And it was probably a handgun, like a 45 or something like that, or a 38. New Olivia. Anyway, when I came back straight back to the bedroom, I don't think I touched on the door handle, but I may have one.
Okay, I just wanted to, but you didn't see any weapon when you saw them.
No. And if the woman in there is the child's mother, there's a chance that there's two more bodies around here somewhere.
Okay. It's I'm sorry, it's the what?
It's the woman in the living room.
It's a child mother. Because that cannot be your friend, right?
Yeah, I can't.
You can't tell.
Yeah, the face was turned to the side, she's been shot in the face and she had glasses. And if she is, then Judy and the baby and the older child are missing.
Okay. Does that toddler, that's the baby, it has a sibling?
Yeah, it would be Judy's grandson.
Oh, okay.
And his mother's name is... She's married and lives over by McEnroe. I can tell you.
Okay, so,
The heater just turned on. Okay. I'm with you.
okay. You still don't hear anything, right?
No, the heater turned on. And a blower. Darn it. Where are the police? Where are the police?
I'll let you know when they're okay.
Can you tell me where they are?
There's several of them in a row.
If you let me go, that's an hour away. there's usually somebody in Carnation or a sheriff or something. Just so I have somebody with me.
Yeah. Okay. Jane, great job staying the line with me, okay?
I'm still with you.
Okay, some of our officers have arrived and our sergeant. I'll let you know, okay, when they come to the door, okay?
Where are they at now?
They just arrived. I don't know their locations.
Okay, they're down at the gate. They've got about a block of little walks. I hope they're in shape. Did you go check the first place on the left?
That's the first house.
Yeah. Now they had also, before the daughter moved in there, they had a real unstable neighbor that worked there. They owned the building and he wouldn't leave. The man that had lived there had the right, they had bought the property from the man that lived in that place.
How long ago?
For probably 10, 12 years.
Oh, okay.
And he died. The son had moved in with him, and I think the son had a prison record. And the son had moved in with him before he died, and then wouldn't move out. And if that's the case, I'm wondering if we aren't going to get any more bodies on the property. Anyway,
Well, there's a sibling that usually is around there too. We'll have the officers check. Don't worry, they'll check the whole property. Have you heard of her having any problems? Has she mentioned to you any?
she never had problems with the guy that had lived here, I know that. I don't think they had trouble with Michelle. I just know Michelle was...
What kind of problems did she say?
Oh, he done things like scratch their vehicles with the keys and like would come up and break open doors but not enter. You know, just so it looked like the house was broken into to upset them.
This was the original landlord?
This was the son of the original landlord.
Oh, the son.
And his name was...
But she never mentioned you have any other problems?
No, she hadn't mentioned whether that he'd been around or anything like that.
Okay. Are you okay?
I'm just having heart failure.
You're just running left?
It's a long driveway.
Oh.
So I sort of hurt my nose walking up. And nerves.
Do you need aid?
Huh?
Do you need aid? Do you
No. I do this all the time, it's nerves. But just knowing the police were on the property, I feel much better already. But like I said, they did be finding more bodies to do in the place. I have no idea. Does anyone confirm the Carnation post office I'm not going to be back? Just give them that much information?
Yeah, we can probably let him know that he you're not going to be back there. We can't give them the circumstances.
Yeah, I know that. Just call them and tell them I'm not going to be back.
Sure.
I know, but tell them I'm okay.
Okay.
Okay, it is 425-333-6501.
Okay, anybody in particular that we should ask for?
Lord, anybody's going to be just talk to them. If Kim's going to ask for Kim.
Kim or anybody?
Yeah, Kim or Laura.
Kim or Laura?
Lori. Lori's the postmaster.
Okay, and just let them know that you're okay.
Tell them I'm okay, but I'm not going to be back. They're going to get someone on the route.
Yeah, we'll just let them know that you'll call them in a little bit, okay?
Yeah. Tell them to get someone to run the route. That's the big problem.
Okay, I have somebody else doing that for me right now, okay?
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Otherwise, they're going to get postal workers are falling off the edge of the earth.
Yeah, do they know that you were checking on her?
Yeah, I told them, I've been calling, and I told them, I said, I'm sorry, I said, I gotta go up there. I said, I'm worrying myself to tears.
Yeah.
And I said, I've gotta go up there and check on her.
Okay, but you don't know of any domestics or any...
No.
Okay.
No, and he's, I don't think she could kill someone her life depended on it.
No.
And he's definitely dead, and it doesn't look like it's from a self-inflicted wound.
Is she married? Is that who
Yeah.
married?
Judy and Wayne are married.
Okay.
Michelle is Judy's daughter.
Daughter,
And the baby that's here, I know is her grandson.
Okay.
By the other daughter. Where are the police?
Okay, they're there, they're checking it because they just asked for everything else to be put on hold because they're checking the property. It may be a while because they know that you are on the phone with them. It comes straight there because they need to check the surrounding areas. Okay, just let me know. You are in the second house, right?
I'm in the house up at the top of the driveway.
That's the second house, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, it's our officers, okay? I'll let you know. Or you let me know when you're here enough that they are on the property. You're doing a great job.
I'm trying to listen to the
You're behind the bed?
And if you could pass those transcripts down to the end, and Mr. O'Toole will collect them from you. Thank you. Thank you very much, folks.
You doing okay?
I'm doing okay.
So at the very end of the 911 call, the 911 operator says, "Okay, can you go outside? The officers want you to meet them outside." And you say, "Very good, bye." What happened then after the call ended? Where did you go? What did you do?
I had to go out the front door, and as I opened the front door, I've got, I would guess, at least 6 people with automatic weapons trained on me. And I've got to walk down the stairs and they told me to walk over to this one sheriff. And I walked over to him, and he read my postal badge and said, "This is Linda Teeley." And then he took me to a car to question.
When you walked out, were you hands in the air or somehow?
I think it was hands in the, I think I had my hands like this, and they told me not to make any sudden moves.
Did you put your hands behind your head like that on your own, or did they ask you to put your hands?
I think they asked me to put my hands behind my head.
When you say there were the 6 officers out there with semi-automatic weapons, were they together? Were they behind?
No, they were
cars?
behind trees. It looked like a scene from a SWAT team show. You know, they're all behind different trees and vehicles and such.
So who did you first have contact with? Who did you talk to?
A sheriff.
And did they ask you what you'd seen or what was going on inside?
No, the first thing I told to him was that they were going to find more bodies.
Why'd you say
Because
that?
when I looked at what I thought was Judy on the way out, I knew that it was not Judy. And I knew that Judy would never, ever, under any circumstances, run and leave her grandchildren.
When you were walking out from that back bedroom and down the hallway out the front door to meet the sheriff's deputies, did you stop or again look at the scene there or try to examine, determine what had happened?
No. I could not stand to look at Judy's grandson. It absolutely broke my heart.
So if you were thinking that wasn't Judy, the female who was there, who did you think it was?
I was so shocky that I wasn't thinking properly about who anybody was or what they looked like. And I knew it wasn't Mary, but I wasn't putting family together right. My brain just wasn't working.
And you still thought, though, as you left the building, that was Wayne Anderson?
Yes, I still thought it was Wayne because Wayne and Scott were built very similar.
The reason I asked you about the female who was there, when you saw the person, the grandson, did you assume it was Mary's son? Or?
Yes, I did. At this time I was still, but I knew that it wasn't Mary that was there. So, I mean, things were bad enough, and now they're not making any sense at all.
Were you aware that Mary had planned to be there for Christmas Eve?
Yes.
How were you aware of that?
Because Judy and I shared everything about holidays, and she loved Christmas, and so we knew what everybody's plans were for Christmas.
So you went out the front door, you had contact with one sheriff's deputy or all 6 of them or so? Or?
No, just the one. I went up to the one sheriff, the others still kept their positions.
And then where did you go and what did you do then?
We went down to a car, and one of the first things they did was to take a picture of the tread on my shoe. And then we got in the car, and he started questioning me about what had happened.
Where was the car located relative to the main house?
On the other side of the gate.
So you get down to the gate, do you see your car still there?
They had moved my car off to the side.
Okay. And other cars there as well, patrol cars?
Oh, yes.
So you went to the patrol car, and what did you do in the patrol car with the deputy?
I answered questions for a couple of minutes until a detective got there from Seattle.
Did you give any formal statement at that time, either written or recorded for that, with that first?
It was recorded, and he was transcribing it at the same time.
And then we're talking about the first conversation with the deputy before the
Yes,
detective.
very short, only minutes.
And then how long did the conversation last with the detective who arrived?
I would guess that one lasted around an hour.
And was that recorded?
Yes.
So that happens, it's now an hour or so has passed since you got down the hill. What did you do next?
After the detective talked to me, he says, "Okay, we're done with you. You can get in your car and go home."
Right there, just like that?
That's it. Yeah, they were through questioning me. Didn't care what your psychological values were or anything. So I got in my car and drove home.
And I take it literally you drove home rather than to the post office?
I can't remember if I stopped off I think I did stop off for a minute at the post office. But I couldn't, like I said, first of all, it's so long ago. And secondly, I was really in shock. I couldn't remember the names of people I worked with, much less Judy's family members. I couldn't remember the names that I'd worked with for 11 years.
How much longer did you remain with the post office before you retired?
Probably 4 or 5 months, because I was made a regular on Judy's route. But it just, if somebody didn't pick their mail up, I was worried they'd been killed. If just everything. I mean, I just couldn't handle it anymore. So you know, I told them I can't do it.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask a series of questions following up on the 911 call. I don't know if counsel wants to cross-examine, but I know you have a scheduling concern.
No, go right ahead, counsel. Yeah, we've got time.
So let me hand you what has been admitted as exhibit. Mr. Allen, I'm sorry. This is exhibit 12 I'm handing you, which is the transcript of the 911 call. So I'm going to ask you some follow-up questions just about some of the comments or things that you observed and things that you said during the course of the call, if that's all right. On page 1 of Exhibit 12, about 2/3 of the way down, the 911 operator asks, "What do you see?" And you respond, "Oh God, I'm in the other room. There's a baby and a man and a woman, and she's my best friend." At that point, who'd you think that was?
I thought it was Wayne and Judy at that point.
May I ask you, when you first walked in and you thought it was carbon monoxide poisoning and you were going to try to move the body of the man out, did you approach the woman who was there and the young child? At the top of the next
was
page.
a no, ma'am.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry, no.
Yeah, you have to answer out
I know,
loud.
you can't hear my head rattle.
That is true. At the top of the next page, page 2.
I apologize for my language.
It's, I think I recognize that word. I think you said, "Oh shit." I don't know if there's a phone in the other room. I didn't bring my cell phone with me. Did you have a cell phone back then?
It was at the post office.
Was that yours or sort of a company, a work phone or what?
It was mine, but you were required to carry one.
And then about 1/3 of the way down that page, the 911 operator says, "No, I'm going to get, does it appear that they're cold to touch?" And you respond, quote, "No, it just appears, it looks like it was family that shot him," unquote. Why did you say that?
Because they hadn't tried to run. And if somebody had come to the door, you would have gone to the door and then been shot. And they were sitting or in approximation of where they would have been if somebody you knew walked into the room.
Did it look like any furniture had been overturned or anything like that?
No.
Then near the bottom of page 2, you've gone out to check on the bodies, and the operator, we heard her call to you, hello, 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 a number of times. And then you come back to the phone and you say, quote, yes, they're totally cold. They've been dead for a long time, unquote. And I just need to ask you, so what is it that you did when you went back into the room?
When I went back where the phone was, or back into the room where the bodies were?
Where the bodies were.
I touched the wrist of the man and the woman, and I could not bring myself to touch the baby.
And then if I have you take a look at page 3 at the bottom. And the 911 operator asks, and who's the child? And your response is, quote, it's going to be her grandson, and that's what I'm wondering, if it's the child's mother that's there. But I can go look again. She's got glasses on, and I know Judy wears glasses part of the time, unquote. And what I'm asking you is, when you say, I'm wondering if it's the child's mother, who did you think that might possibly be? Mary Victoria or somebody else?
At the time, I had still thought that the baby was Mary's, but I knew that the woman sitting there was not Mary Victoria.
Did you know Scott's wife, Erica?
No, I had never met Scott's family, Scott or his family.
And then at page 4, if I could have you look there, about midway down, you're talking to the 911 operator about Judy not showing up for work that morning. And you're saying, quote, and unless I can find a key, the gate is locked, which makes me wonder if her daughter did it, which is scary, because then I might be up here with a murderer, unquote. What did you mean by that? It makes me wonder if her daughter did it.
I knew that Michelle and Judy had been arguing mainly about the rental and the water and gas on the mobile home.
How did you know that?
Because we had talked about it.
When we say we, that's you and Judy?
Judy and I.
And how recently, before Christmas Eve, had you talked about it?
Oh, probably, it had been at least a couple of weeks since we had talked about that. We were too wrapped up in the holidays.
Then a little bit farther on that same page, you've been asked if you see any guns lying around, and you say no. And then you make the statement, quote, I know the one daughter has been slightly unstable, unquote. So which daughter were you talking about there?
Michelle again.
And what did you mean when you said that?
I knew that she was not taking I don't know how to word it. She was not reacting to what Judy was asking of her like other people would. She was sort of overboard in her reaction.
In terms of anger or disagreement or what?
Both.
And then a little bit farther down that page, you're asked, was there forced entry into the home? And you respond, quote, no, the door wasn't locked. Whoever left, and didn't lock the door. And that's the other thing that kind of scares me, is the front gate is locked, unquote. Why did that scare you?
Because I was worried that whoever had left the house unlocked had locked the gate, so I was at that point locked in with them. Sorry.
You're right. If I could have you take a look at page 8. There. Near the very bottom of the page, the 911 operator is asking you about your vehicle, which I think you described as a blue Mountaineer, and she says, it's a white Mountaineer, and you respond, quote, no, it's almost a black blue. Tell the police they might check the first house on the left also. It's a mobile, unquote.
Yes.
So why did you tell the 911 operator that they should check the first house on the left?
Because if Michelle had left the house unlocked and locked the gate, there was a possibility she was in that building.
And did you think she was in that building as someone who might have done this, or as a possible victim herself?
Either.
And then on page 9, they're asking you near the bottom of the page, about 2/3 of the way down, you're asked, what was the address of the other one, referring to the other mobile home that's down the hill?
Correct.
And you respond 1905 344th.
Yes.
We saw in one of the slides the address of 1910 346. Does that sound...
No, that's Judy's house.
You're asked then, does she live there with anybody? And you respond, well, there are 2 other cars there, so I don't know. I don't. I know her name's Michele Anderson. I don't know that much about her. Unquote.
And here again, I knew that that she had somebody living with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I was really shocky. And but I did know that Michelle had somebody living with her.
And by somebody, was that Joseph McEnroe, as far as you knew?
Yes.
And then if I could have you look at page 12 near the top. And you see the 911 operator says, okay, I just want to, but you didn't see any weapon when you saw them, and you respond, quote, no, and if the woman in there is the child's mother, there's a chance that there's 2 more bodies around here somewhere, unquote. Why did you say that?
Because I knew there was another child, and also Judy was missing.
Okay, so those are the 2 bodies
Yes.
you thought might be. And did you know who the other child might be if there was another child?
Again, I still was believing that these were Mary's children.
Now, if I could have you look at page 13. And near the bottom, you say, quote, okay, if they're down at the gate, they've got about a block uphill walk to. I hope they're in shape. Thank God. Did you tell them to check the first place on the left? And the 911 operator asks, that's the first house? And you respond, yeah. Now, they also had, before the daughter moved in there, they had a real unstable neighbor that lived there, that owned the building, and he wouldn't leave. Was that the person who had lived there 10 or 12 years before?
Yes. No, just several years before. Probably about, I guess, 3 or 4 years before Michelle moved in.
And do you know whether Wayne or Judy had ever had any problems recent with that?
No, I didn't know that he'd ever been back, but a lot of times people that have problems at holidays, they come back up again.
And then at page 14, about not quite halfway down, the 911 operator asks, have you heard of her having any problems with anybody? Has she mentioned to you any? And you respond, quote, they had problems with a guy that had lived here. I know that. I don't think they had trouble with Michelle. And then it's unintelligible. Do you recall what it was that you might have said there?
I don't know if I put happy, or if I said happy, or what I put there.
Was that based on what your knowledge of sort of the ongoing disagreement
Yes.
between Judy and Michelle? moment?
Sure.
Those are all the questions I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Any cross-examination, counsel?
No questions, John.
All right, then, Ms. Keeley, thank you very much for being here. You're free to go at this point. Have a good afternoon, okay?
Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our testimony for today. I'm going to excuse you to the jury room. Kenya will release you momentarily for the rest of the day. Please leave your notepads and pens there on the chairs. Again, I want to remind you, please don't discuss the case amongst yourselves or with anyone else. Don't do any internet research or anything of that sort with regard to this case. And we'll see you back here tomorrow at about 8:30, and we'll pick up with the next witness at 9 o'clock. Have a good afternoon, folks. Thank you. And please be seated, folks. And if I could ask the gallery to wait for a few moments while we have Miss Anderson transported.
Governor,
Yeah.
you could go on record for 30 seconds.
Sure, go ahead.
I just want to clarify an objection I made or reserved, I think, regarding the photographs that were admitted.
Yes, sir.
I should have written over that. I think it was Exhibit 14, photographs of the interior of the house that were recommended.
Yes, I believe that's right.
The specific objection was to 14A, and it's due to its undue prejudicial intrusive.
Yeah, and thank you, Council, for the clarification. I recall that that was the original objection, so at least the record's abundantly clear now, so thank you. Anything else, folks?
Not from the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, then if you'd all remain seated for a moment while we have Miss Anderson transported, and then you'll be free to go. Thank you. All right, we'll be in recess. Thank you very much, folks. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Kim, I've left this on, so
Thank you, Your
whoever
Honor.
needs to fiddle with it can.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you, sure.
Yeah. If I don't get back, it'll be Sean O'Donnell's fault.